Chapter 1. Elias, can you explain this problem? The girl in front of me had delicate features and fair skin. Her eyes curved into a soft, friendly smile that was hard to resist. Her beauty was truly mesmerizing. I found myself briefly stunned. Elias? Oh, of course. I quickly gathered my scattered thoughts, picked up the pen, and started writing steps on a scrap of paper. Look, when you convert this to logarithmic form, it's easier to solve. Ava's eyes lit up. Elias, you're so smart. If I were as clever as you, I'd definitely get into Peking University too. I first met Ava in the library. Sunlight poured through the towering windows, casting warm light over my table, already piled with books. The atmosphere hummed with stillness and the smell of old paper, so quiet that only the rustling of pages broke the silence. I was engrossed in my studies until a book thudded onto the table beside me, shattering my focus. I looked up to see her standing by the opposite bookshelf, a hint of embarrassment on her face. Oh, sorry that I didn't notice you there, Ava said, her voice soft with apology. I waved her off. No worries. The library's big enough. A little noise is fine. You're Elias, right? I know you, she said, seeming to pry open a conversation. I looked up, trying to recall, but no memory of such a striking girl came to mind. She laughed softly. Big shot, Elias. I'm Ava. You really don't pay attention to who's always second on the leaderboard, do you? Her words triggered a vague memory. The name just below mine in every exam had always been Ava. Chapter 2. After the library encounter. After that first meeting, I started noticing Ava everywhere. Elias, I solved the last math problem, she exclaimed one day, her excitement contagious. That's amazing. Now I'm under pressure to keep up, I replied with a laugh. She giggled, her eyes crinkling into crescents. Scenes like this had become routine since she transferred to our class and asked to sit beside me. Our relationship grew closer, and I felt my feelings shifting from platonic to something deeper. As an orphan, I'd never known love. Ava's bright smile made me fall for her bit by bit, though I had no idea how to love in return. So I met her every request. Elias, your breakfast looks delicious. Can you bring me one tomorrow? Elias, I can't solve this problem. Will you help me? Elias, can I borrow your notes? Taking notes is such a hassle. Each time she looked at me with those clear eyes and smiled, I agreed without hesitation. I must have been crazy. The orphanage provided little for expenses, so if I wanted to buy something for Ava, I had to earn it. Fortunately, my 2 years as top of the class landed me a tutoring job. I went every day after school, often returning to the orphanage dorm near midnight. When my dorm mate Ethan found out, he shook his head. You're such a simp. If that's what I was, so be it. I enjoyed every moment. Chapter 3. Breakfast and a Bully. After morning reading, I rushed to buy breakfast for Ava. On my way back, I saw Duncan, the school bully, exiting our classroom. Top scholar buying breakfast for Ava again, huh? He spotted me, a teasing smile on his face, though there was a flicker of mischief in his eyes that made me uneasy. I ignored him and walked into the classroom. Elias, you got me the steamed buns from that place I mentioned yesterday. You're the best. Ava's voice was as bright as morning dew. I didn't respond, just studied her face, sensing something off. She smiled. What's wrong? Stayed up too late studying? I hesitated, then asked softly, was Duncan here to see you? Her smile froze, a flash of embarrassment crossing her face. We used to be in the same class. He invited me to his birthday party this weekend, but I turned him down. He invited the whole class, so it was just courtesy, but I'll be at the library with you this weekend, she added, her eyes avoiding mine as she spoke with a playful lilt. I exhaled, feeling a weight lift. I see. Seeing my relief, Ava's smile returned, brighter than before. Of course, getting into Peking University is my top priority now, right? She gave my shoulder a light pat, a sudden show of closeness. We'd agreed to go to Peking University together to build a future side by side. Chapter 4. Giving up the competition. You're really skipping this competition? The homeroom teacher fixed me with a stern gaze. I shrugged. Didn't you always teach us to make our own choices? I'm choosing not to participate. Do you know this competition could get you guaranteed admission? It's the only spot our school has. Sir, my grades are good enough to get into Peking University without it. The competition doesn't change that. I tried to sound calm, but even I heard the avoidance in my voice. The teacher sighed, taking off his glasses to wipe them. With your grades, Peking University is a given, but this competition is invaluable. Giving it up is a huge loss. I shook my head, hiding any emotion. I don't care about that. Finally, he relented. Then send Ava in, please. If you're not participating, she'll take the spot. Ava wanted to get into Peking University so badly she'd be thrilled. I walked through the noisy hall and tapped her shoulder. Ava, the teacher wants to see you. She looked up, confused. Really? What for? A competition, maybe? A classmate teased with a whistle. Ava, is it time to dethrone the top scholar? Ava laughed, her innocent smile like sunlight. Hurry up, don't keep the teacher waiting, I said, steadying my voice as my heart twisted. Watching her walk toward the teacher's office, I felt a strange mix of happiness for her and an unexplainable bitterness. It wasn't until she returned, beaming with the registration form, that I told myself, this is for the best. Chapter 5. A Favor and a Hug. Ava bounded up to me, her eyes sparkling but tinged with unease. This competition spot, you gave it to me on purpose, didn't you? She asked, her voice clear against the distant thump of basketballs on the court. I swallowed, unable to speak. She seemed to notice my discomfort, but grew more excited, like she'd won a prize. Thank you. She leaned in and gently hugged me, whispering in my ear. I stood frozen, feeling her hair brush my cheek. Soft, fleeting, like a feather. Too quickly, she pulled away, as if the closeness had never been mine to keep, leaving me empty. Her laughter rang out, playful as ever. Since you did me such a big favor, you're my official assistant now. If my assignments go missing, it's your job to find them. How could I refuse? When she smiled like that, even my stony heart melted. Of course, I agreed, as if this were my destiny. Chapter 6. The Cruel Truth. That weekend, I arrived at the coffee shop we'd arranged, pocketing the math notes I'd spent all night organizing. Then, from inside, I heard her voice. Look at this fool. He gave up the competition spot for me. In less than a month, he'll confess. He even brings me breakfast every day. I thought the top scholar would hold out longer, but pleased that everyone's at my feet. It was Ava with her friends, including Duncan and others I didn't recognize. Her face looked like that of a stranger. I froze, each word piercing me. All my efforts, everything I'd done, just a game to her and her friends. All right, you guys go ahead. He's about to show up, and I want to play along a little longer. As Ava spoke, her gaze caught mine. I stared at her coldly. Shock flashed across her face, followed by panic. Had she not expected this? Her guilt felt fake. Her friends noticed me too, their laughter dying into awkward silence. Ava's lips moved, but no words came. Chapter 7. Betrayal and Reality. So, top scholar. Now that you know the truth, in this charade with Ava, Duncan sneered, pulling her into a possessive embrace. Did you really think you could be with her? Do you even know who her father is? The chairman's daughter wouldn't end up with an orphan like you. I looked at Ava, the only one who knew I was an orphan. She turned away, avoiding my gaze. Betrayal stung deeper. The red-haired girl beside her scoffed, stop dreaming. Ava and my brother are a couple. Their engagement was arranged ages ago. Seeing her resemblance to Duncan, the truth hit me. There was no reason to stay. I turned and left, heart shattered. Back at the orphanage, Ethan jumped off his bed. You're finally back. You've been MIA. Did you know Ava's the chairman's daughter? I even have a list of her favorites. Call me Dad. And it's yours. Then he noticed my expression. What's wrong? Finding out she's rich killed your hopes? Man, I thought it was serious. As long as she's into you, who cares? It's just dating. She's going abroad after high school anyway. She's already passed her IELTS. I went numb. So the Peking University dream was just an excuse to get close. I'd foolishly given up the competition. No wonder she'd transferred to my class, sat beside me, acted uncomfortable after getting the spot. I'd thought she felt guilty, but when I asked about Duncan, she'd lied about his birthday, which was 3 months ago. With a bully and rich kid in the mix, how hadn't I seen it? Maybe I had, but trusted her too much. Now, trust shattered, the truth burned. Chapter 8. Monday Morning Reckoning. Monday came, and as usual, I was first to arrive at class. But this time, the lights were already on. Hearing my footsteps, Ava stood abruptly. Let me explain. I walked toward her calmly. You haven't submitted the competition form yet, have you? Give it to me. Hastily, she rummaged through her bag and handed over the form. I'm sorry, I didn't. Leave, I cut in. My tone was harsher than I'd ever used with her. Her face paled, lips trembling as she choked out, "Elias, go back to your old class, your old friends," I repeated. She didn't move, just stared at me with a pitiful look. An inexplicable anger flared in my chest. "Didn't you expect consequences when you accepted that bet? I'm not clinging to you or seeking revenge that isn't that enough. Or do you still want to play with me, Ava?" Her face turned whiter. "No, that was just in the heat of the moment. Enough. You know how important this competition is to me. You, a pampered rich girl, never needed it. Yet you took it gladly for the sake of a bet, didn't you?" She opened her mouth to protest, but I cut her off. Staring into her eyes, I said firmly, "I won't trust you again." Then I turned and left the classroom. Chapter 9. A Chance Encounter. The days that followed felt as if Ava had never existed. I approached the homeroom teacher again, who, despite my flip-flopping, supported me, even approving my competition registration. This time, I treasure the opportunity. I wouldn't sacrifice my future for anyone. Finally, I traveled to an unfamiliar city for the competition. The day before, nerves struck, so I took a walk in a park near the hotel. In the elevator, I ran into Victoria from a neighboring school. We'd always ranked top 2 in the city and often met at competitions, so her presence wasn't a total surprise. "Fancy meeting you here," Victoria smirked. "I heard someone almost missed this competition, so I came to mock him." I was taken aback. Had rumors spread that far? Seeing my surprise, she laughed. "Come on, lover boy, you look spaced out." We found a conference room and chatted. Her familiarity chased away my anxiety, and we quizzed each other on past exam questions. Later, Victoria rubbed her eyes. "It's late. Get some sleep. Tomorrow's a big day, and even though we're rivals, I want you at your best." As I walked back to my room, her words echoed in my mind. Chapter 10. New Beginnings. The competition flew by, and I felt surprisingly confident, even nailing 2 questions Victoria and I had reviewed. When the results came out, first place, admitted to the provincial training team, my homeroom teacher beamed, like I'd won a Nobel Prize. "This guarantees your spot at Peking University. Go submit your application." "No," I said. "I'm choosing Southern University." Peking University had been Ava's dream, but I'd always preferred Southern's computer science program. This time, I followed my heart. With admission secured, life relaxed. The teacher helped me find well-paying tutoring jobs, and employers treated me kindly when they learned I was bound for Southern. But Victoria became a constant presence. From a modest background, her cheerfulness was contagious. One day, I was organizing files in the orphanage office when I heard her voice. "Elias." Victoria's family lived nearby and often volunteered with the kids, so everyone knew her. The director smiled at her. "Here for Elias again, Victoria?" She laughed sheepishly. "My mom insists he come for dinner." He helped me with exam questions that showed up, and she made sweet and sour pork just for him. The director shooed me. "Go on, Elias. Don't keep her waiting." As we walked, Victoria chattered. "My mom never makes that for me. You're special." I stopped short. "I should grab a gift for your mom." But when I reached my dorm, someone was waiting outside. Chapter 11. Unwanted Reunion. The figure looked up at my approach. It was Ava. "Elias, I heard you got early admission to Southern University." Just then, Victoria caught up, slightly breathless. "Why'd you run off?" "My mom isn't that impatient." Ava's face fell. I hadn't expected her to find me, but with her father's connections, she could easily access my records. Before I could respond, Victoria tugged my sleeve. "Elias, we're supposed to meet my parents, but if your friend needs to talk." "I promised I'd go with you," I said firmly. Ava stomped her foot, eyes reddening, and stormed off. I grabbed a box of snacks I'd bought and followed Victoria. On the way, Victoria asked, "That was Ava, right?" "She's pretty." I sighed. "She was the girl I used to like." Victoria pouted. "So? I'm not worse than her." "Victoria, I'm an orphan." "Your parents? Orphan or not, how do you know they won't agree? They've brought me to the orphanage since I was little." "Love isn't just about parents. You have the director, Ethan, your friends. That's love too. So, try loving me. You'll learn." Her words gave me courage, but I still worried. Would her parents accept me? Chapter 12. Dinner with the Chens. "Let's wait. Your parents might not approve yet." Victoria grinned. "Just watch. They adore you." At her house, I greeted Mr. and Mrs. Chen nervously. The dinner table was warmed, they shared stories, piled my bowl with food, and treated me like family. I envied their ease. After dinner, I offered to wash dishes, but Mr. Chun waved me off. Mrs. Chun peeled an orange for me, then asked suddenly, "Are you and Victoria dating?" I nearly choked. No. She smiled. "If you are, that's fine. We've watched you grow up. You're a good kid. And Victoria? Well, she can't stop talking about you." My heart lifted, but then she added, "I heard there was another girl. If you're not serious about Victoria, let it go." "I am serious," I said firmly. "I care about her." Just then, Mrs. Chin called, "Victoria, stop eavesdropping." The kitchen door slid open, and Victoria stood there, red-faced. Chapter 13. Unwelcome Reunion. After officially dating Victoria, I joined a research group in the provincial competition team. A young professor from Southern University's Information Security Lab extended an invitation, and I dove into computer security. Convinced it was the future. The lab offered a salary, and patents could bring bonuses, driving me to build a better life for Victoria. She was my guiding light, pulling me back on track. In September, Victoria started college at Southern, and we reunited on campus. Studying finance, she'd visit my lab, where seniors loved teasing us. Then one day, Ava appeared. "I didn't go to the Ivy League," she said. "I got into Southern on my own." Her eyes pleaded, but I sighed. When I'd cared, she'd treated me as a joke. Now she chased a love too late. A phone call interrupted her. I caught words like engagement and come back. After, I said firmly, "Don't look for me. You're engaged to Duncan, right? Be happy." Inside, a senior teased, "Past romance? Don't let it affect Victoria." I laughed it off and told Victoria that day, grateful for her trust. Chapter 14. Explosive Revelation. Days later, I got a cryptic text from Ethan. "Call me Dad for juicy info." Rolling my eyes, I watched his video, an opulent hotel lobby, an engagement banquet for Duncan and Ava. But as the MC spoke, Ava grabbed the mic. "No, I won't marry him," and fled the stage. Ethan's voice crackled. "She canceled the engagement because of you. I heard her tell her parents she loves someone at Southern." My stomach knotted. Chapter 15. Desperate Pleas. That afternoon, Ava, still in her red gown, cornered me. I called off the engagement. "Forgive me, Elias. Let's start over." I stepped back. "Ava, we're adults. The bet broke us. Love built on deceit can't last. You gave up the competition for me. I'll give up everything for you," she shouted, tears streaming. "We're meant to be. Not since I learned you approached me for a dare." Her eyes turned wild. "It's Victoria, isn't it? I won't give up." I left, chilled by her madness. Chapter 16. Dangerous Obsession. Busy with a new research project, I barely noticed Victoria's distance until her roommate called. Victoria had been hit by a car. Rushing to the hospital, her mom said gravely, the driver was Ava. She fled. Remembering Ava's deranged look, I called her. "Why hit Victoria?" "Because of her, you won't be with me," she hissed. We met the next day. Inside her apartment, she handed me a drink. "Energy drink with liquor. Can't handle it, can you?" A strange heat spread, but I called the police beforehand. As sirens wailed, Ava looked back in despair. "We really can't be together?" "Stop deluding yourself," I said. She was convicted of hit. And run, I never visited. Epilogue. A promise. I spent every penny on a ring, then knelt beside Victoria's hospital bed. "Will you marry me?" Tears in her eyes, she whispered, "Yes." The past with Ava was a shattered dream, but Victoria was my future, steady, true, and worth every fight.